I straight up, when I hit ninth grade, I was like, I am the shit, and people are going to deal with that because, like, I have found my worth, and you're not taking that from me, kind of thing. And then sophomore year hit, and it was the same thing, really. It's like I have found my worth, even through my relationship and the stuff I was battling with, like trying to keep myself in high spirits and keep the girl I was with in high spirits, because it would pain me to see someone that cared for me so much, that I cared for so much, to hurt so much, and I didn't like that too much. So I battled trying a lot of stress to keep me happy and to keep her happy, and eventually it was just like, she's got too much, bro. She's got too much. She's obviously done too much to me that is just very irresponsible and just honestly flat out disgusting and rude, that I just altogether left it as it is. And then instead of like what I should have done after, like soul searching and really tried to repair myself, I went to the one thing that I thought was pretty dope, and that was having friends that would be there. And I was going on a good roll, but that role was more influenced by the fact that I could make friends, or these people are people I already knew and I was comfortable with. We could joke around like that type beat. And instead of really being me and facing the music that I am single, and it's not gonna be easy road to get over that kind of thing, because you had left so much, you'd put so much into one person, and that person is now like out of your life basically in a matter of a day. That it took a while. But when the music still turned down, the music volume turned down, I had to face the fact that maybe I am hurting, maybe like I do not have feelings or anything, but like I do remorse the time I had, and to see her like not with me still stings. But it's tough. But that was around December, really, I started feeling that way. And then she got a new boyfriend around that time, and I was like, dang, that's crazy that all this time is gone and I'm just out of the loop entirely. Like, and I still had a lot of classes until the second semester hit. That was just like, dang. It was a really not Cinderella story, but like a really like fairy tale story, where this guy and this girl have almost every class together. They see each other all the time, this, that, and the third. It was really fairy tale, and it didn't really pan out like that in the end. And that's kind of how it goes, And then second semester sophomore year rolls around, and I'm with these new people, these new friends, and I'm thinking, hell yeah, I'm with it. Cool now. Let's ride this out till senior year. And I was like, yeah, I really like these guys. They're cool, cool cats. I like one of them, but that's fine because, she's cool. Even if she doesn't like me, I'm cool with that. Which I was cool with that, because she was still is cool, dope person to talk to and shit like that. And then COVID strikes, and I doubt all of them. I doubted everybody, honestly, during that time. Up until about August, I doubted everybody. Simple as that. Even the cold relationship that I had during that time in the whole quarantine state, I don't say I would miss to say I regret it, but I wish it wasn't so like how it was, but that is what it is. I don't want to speak on it much now in this kind of sense. But during that time, I doubted everybody. I was like, yo, are these people like my friends and whatnot? Like people I'd moved away from, I was doubting. I was like, are these people really my friends? do these people still care that I'm around? Because it seems like everybody's just forgotten that I exist in a sort of way. I'm doing me. Like, I'm indoors all day. I'm doing what I would do on a weekend. Chill, play video games, watch anime, what I do on weekends. And, it got to the point where I was doing that every day. And I realized something hitting me is like, this isn't really a good way to live. Because I'm not getting out. I'm here at home thinking video games and online people are going to get me through this time because that's all I know, per se. When in reality, there was a lot more I could do. And even having a job, which I thought was pretty dope, getting my own money and shit like that was cool. But honestly, getting my own money and shit like that was cool. And being able to buy my PC and shit to like help me play video games, stream, have fun like that, do other things, could only get me so far if I didn't have the one thing that I was accustomed to, which was seeing people in person, which I couldn't do. And that ate at me for a while, and I tried to bring in other things that would, make me feel a little bit more normal, because I realized the position that I was truly in. And the position I truly was in was, I am an outsider in a friend group of people that have already established. And those three are closer than anything. And I am the person they knew in person that is cool. But at the end of the day, I am still a dude. I'm still a guy that is still on the outside. And that can be perceived as a lot of ways. A lot of ways I wish it wasn't, but it is what it is now. And then, of course, after summer ends, school starts, and I was forced to do online, which added to the fact that I am now going into these classes per se, and I thought it'd be pretty cool with these people that I'm with, and I'm still grateful I got to meet all of them. It's just a really great experience with them all, especially my closest friends there. Start of it, I felt was pretty dope to be there and see some people, but wasn't the full experience of seeing the people that I was still very close to, because at that point I hadn't seen any of them since like since lockdown. Since lockdown started, I hadn't seen any of them, by the way. At this point, this is on September of 2020. I hadn't seen any of them, not one. And at that point, I was like, yo, I still was clinging on to them because I hadn't seen them in forever. And I really wanted to. And, instead of moving from that point, that maybe that I am not high on that list of people they want to see, and I was just like, fine, we'll live with that. But I didn't want to live with that. And then school on top of that, I felt like, bro, I don't want to do this. I don't want to continue living a life where I feel people don't care about me. Or not that I feel, not that I say I feel people don't care about me, but I'm living a life where people don't care about me, where I'm having an everlasting thought, where people do not care about me. And that is a life that I didn't want to live. Like, I can have the thought, I can't live with the thought in knowing that people probably really don't care I'm around. But I could live with the thought that maybe they don't. Not that I know they don't. With trying to, be like, hey, this person is cool and all, but they really don't care. And really not having a backup to that. I kept jumping to other people to help that loneliness I have, because my whole life I've had people, and now being at a point where I don't have people was a very tough thing that I could not do. And then finally meeting my two good friends, I realized that this is the time that I gotta make. But, honestly, at that point, I was too far gone to really like build that. I was way too far gone. So it was just it was a connect, but for me, really, it was just at that point, I felt that nobody cared one way or another. And like people didn't care whether I was in their life or I was out of their life. And so that kind of affected all of my friendships. That affected my way of thinking. That affected my way of keeping on friendships. That affected the way I talk to people. And it still does today, kind of. But in reality, it really doesn't. Because, I mean, I am more sassy. I am more like assertive when it comes to saying certain things. Like I can be more of an ass, or I can be like more brash, or brash, I guess, something like that. Instead of just kind of taking it and taking a punch, like I'll be more like fuck. Like if someone's like fuck you, I'll be like fuck you too, kind of thing. Instead of just being like, oh wow. But sometimes I'll still do it if like I know someone's joking around, or like someone's like really angry and I'm like, oh wow, instead of trying to escalate something. But it's like, someone's like, oh, you're stupid. I'd be like, oh really? Wow, that's kind of tough, bro. Why would you say that? And I don't know, just kind of like attack that, really just not let people shit on me as much anymore, I roll with some, but others I won't. That's how we roll in my life now. But then was like, being too much of a disconnect from people, because all of a sudden I had basically no one but a couple of people for this X amount of months, and then coming back in and I'm like, hey, people that I feel actually give a damn about me, let's go. Gotta get in on this. This is like a once in a lifetime opportunity at this point. And realizing that it wasn't, and I could take more time to really build that instead of feeling rushed to make those friends. I'm lucky that I didn't push them away or anything or be weird about it. But, I really at one point really thought I was gonna lose them. With me being at the state I was, almost killing myself was very tough because of living with the thought that these people don't care. And not having that connection anymore was really like a big scare. And eventually I got over it. I started with school falling, I eventually just like came back to myself. And I was like, hey, I have to live life differently. I can't live it the same where I'm thinking friends are always going to be there. I have to start living it like people are coming, people are going. I gotta take that just with me all the way. You stick with the ones you got, and the ones that want to leave, let them leave. Like if you're trying to text someone on Snap and they don't respond, they don't answer, they leave you unopened, you let them go. I'm not gonna keep trying to message you, trying to bring you back when you're obviously just going. If you're gonna go, you're gonna go, and I'm gonna let you do that. Because honestly, that is your decision wholly to just go leave. And I'm fine with you just leaving and going somewhere else and just taking your time away. But I can be by myself now, I don't need a friend in the world, but I appreciate all of them who stay with, living kind of like that. Because not that people let me down or people this, people are that, but people are people. And if you want to leave, you're more than welcome to go. You don't have to tell me, because I'll know eventually, And there's more of a stage where people are telling me all the time, well, people are this, people are like, I don't like people. Some people I just can't mess with. Some people are this, some people are that. Like people as a whole, I get bored of people easily, kind of thing. Like, I don't get bored of people. I love people. It's like some of my friends say, I get bored of people, or I don't like just anybody, or, sometimes I just need some people. I'm always I'm open to anyone who wants to come around. My doors are always open. I don't care who you are, race, religion, creed, or whatever. Unless you're not racist or just a terrible person in general, you're welcome to join my ranks, or not join my ranks, but be my friend. I won't get bored of you. I won't try to actively get away from you, unless like there are some very few there's a fine print in that statement, but I won't actively be like, let me get away unless I know you're toxic or you're just not a good fit for me entirely. I won't try and get away. But if you want to, you're more than welcome to, and I'll welcome you out the door if you ask. But if you don't want to ask me, you just want to leave, I'll find out and I'll be fine. I just love the people I have now. That's always what I do. I love the people I have now, and yeah, I love them to death, because the people I have now, most of them have stuck with me the last year. So, I mean, I'll take it. My two closest friends, I'd say my two closest friends. I won't name names throughout this whole thing. My two closest friends now, I appreciate them sticking with me for so long. Them just whatever I told them that I kind of needed, they'd help out. It'd be we always there for each other, because that's how we do. And I mean, I love to hang out with them more, definitely, because we don't hang out as a lot, but I still consider them like my closest, in Missouri at least, friends, because we're always like a tight knit kind of thing. It's like we hang out or we talk and it's automatically just a great time. Like, I love talking to my friends about like anything, because like mostly like my work, their work, old people, whatever, they're not, just it's just fun time. And I appreciate everybody else who stuck along with me for the last 17 years of my life. It has been a great 17 years. I wouldn't change it for the world. Nothing I'd ever done my sophomore year, 9th grade, junior year, 8th grade, 7th grade, 6th grade, and anything in elementary, I won't change it for the world, because I love it so much. I love the life that I've lived, the people I've met, the things I've seen, the things I've done, the things that I have yet to see. It's pretty dope knowing that I did that. And my senior year can only get better. It's just the things that all come together at the end of the day. Be like, hey, I can say I did this without saying I didn't do this. Instead of being like, I've never been to California, I could say I've been to fucking Georgia, lived there. It was dope. Just saying all that and doing all that is just a fun time in general, And to the people that know who you are mentioned in this, good for you, because that already says that you have a place in my heart, especially my people from the state 2 times over. You people know who you are. Everybody knows who they are. If you don't, feel free to tell you. But it's pretty dope living a life like this. Can't always say you live it twice, but I mean, for damn sure, it's been pretty fun.